What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? What's up, Corpse? Got news in 8 minutes. She's Gold is pushing here after Comex. I just want to send the link to the Discord real quick and we'll do a breakdown. What's up, Faraz? Ben, how you guys doing? Yeah, Comex going crazy. Okay. Well, I mean, we can start off here on the weekly. So I haven't done a weekly breakdown for this week. I didn't do one last week either. I'm sorry, chat. I will get back into routine this week. But yeah, let's start off with today. So last week, the mother of all bullish candles there. I mean, that's showing us a lot of demand here in gold as a safe haven asset. With the Israel conflict flaring up, we didn't have any escalations over the weekend, so you gap down a little bit here. It looks like we're pushing back up to the highs. I just wanted to have a look at this different broker because here we already had a 4-hour closing bullish, so that was a nice confirmation to start looking for those buys all the way back up to 1930, 1932. So we've had a nice pullback here, bit of a support formed, and we're pushing back up. You know, at this point in time with news, it's going to be best to wait for news. Now, if this news is coming out good for the dollar, I'm not really interested in sells on gold. But what we may see is if this news is really good, that we could just get some liquidity grabs here. So maybe a pullback to 1920 or 1915, and then we can start to look for those buys. Got our London support here at 1910. At this point in time, I don't see us coming back down there. But we could possibly come and retest this structure here. At about 1918. So with gold pushing like this already, like I say, your best bet is to wait for the news. That news could either just give us straight continuations, and at that point maybe waiting for the 4-hour candle to open, waiting for the 4-hour to create a bottom wick. So just waiting for a lower time frame pullback here for some sort of entry, you know. We've just had a 50-60 pip 5-minute candle. You don't necessarily want to just be jumping in bars when, you know, price could easily pull back. Just looking to the left, this is quite a tricky zone right here, about 1930 to 1928. We can see all these rejections here in the past, so might be tricky trading into that area if we don't get any nice pullbacks back to 1920, 1918. Then maybe waiting for breaks above 1930 is also just a safer call. Looking to the left, also just all of these rejections down here between 1905 and 1903. I was really hoping to see us pull back into this area, but with this momentum to the upside, you don't necessarily need to see the deepest of pullbacks or retesting most recent structure. You know, this could be our support easily, and we just continue to move bullish in the session. Got news in 2.5 minutes. Let's see what the news does. 1915, really nice area of contention. What's up, Ned? Justin? One thing with the DXY, at the moment, you'll see that DXY and gold are not really correlating so well. Because there's demand in both of these assets at the moment. So normally, well, what's normal, right? But generally speaking, if dollar is more bullish, we can see gold being more bearish. But in this instance, they're both relatively, well, both pretty much bullish. So pretty tough to use the DXY here as any sort of correlation. Let's wait and see. 30 seconds until the news. What's up, Mr. Wayne? How are you doing? We need to just keep an eye out for headlines with the news. You know, things are popping up all the time with the Israel and Palestine story. I think we've also got Fed speakers later today. Yeah, we've got a Fed speaker an hour after NYSE open, and then one again this evening. Same speaker. This news is not really doing a whole lot. Good numbers though. Numbers came out better than the forecast. Still lower than previous. But let's see if it could give us some pullbacks here to set up for those bars. Waiting for the 4 hours, not a bad call. Ned, you say you're trading gold now. I think you started trading gold at a great time. I mean, the session's barely started and you've got a 90 pip hourly candle. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just another thing, you know, in these times, we've got a lot of volatility. You know, so your stops for most of your trades are going to most probably be a little bit bigger than usual. So just be aware of that when trading these conditions. You know, you want to stay sharp with your discipline. Don't over risk. Take note of the size of your stop loss. Like I say, stops are gonna possibly be a little bit bigger than usual when you've got such volatility. Nice, Ned. It's crazy. We are getting a little bit of a pullback here from that news. So let's see where we pull back into. You know, even if this 4-hour candle closes bullish, next 4 hour could still wick down into 1912 to 1910, and then, you know, if we do get the pullbacks into this London support, we can get some nice entries from down here. I don't see this really pulling back all this way, but let's say we break this London support and come into about 1905, 1903. If we're seeing nice reactions here from 1905, 1903, you've got range to execute on trades back up to 1910 for something like this, with the idea to get in some nice positions here to hold back up to 1930. And then what you want to see is, if we do get that sort of price action, we do push back up to 1910. If you can just get a break and retest here, you know, that's even another opportunity there for trades. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Dirty 30. Jeepers. Is that what you kids call it nowadays? Are we waiting for support on 5-minute time frame? Doesn't look too bad, eh? It really doesn't. It looks pretty decent. Come back in to retest this 1918. If this 5-minute closes back above 1920, you're not looking too bad there. I've got range back up to these highs. I'm gonna be careful with this 5-minute idea. I'm not too in love with this. Doesn't look bad, but it doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Like I say, if the 5-minute closes above 1920, maybe it's worth a shot, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Each 5-minute candle range is crazy. Yeah, exactly. I want to be a little bit more selective here today with this volume. You know, you only need one nice banger, and then you could easily get runners with positions here. So rather gonna stay patient. Yeah, I could see us pulling back deeper still. It is what it is, Ned. Yeah, bro, it's part of it. It's part of it, man. Yeah, that 5 is not enough. Not convincing enough. I really don't mind waiting for the 4-hour candle close here. If this 4-hour candle can close nice and bullish, next 4-hour wicks down into 1915, even possibly down to 1912, 1910. You know, that's gonna look a little bit better. And if not, if let's just say we do just continue to push up, let's say this is your 5-minute support, and we just continue to push up here, then I still think the next 4 hour could give you cleaner setups, or you wait for breaks above 1930. Anybody in any trades? Anybody take any trades on Friday? Friday was ridiculous. That daily candle on Friday was retarded. It's just a monster. It's crazy. Crazy shit. And after a move like this, even with this fear in the market, gold is still, price is still, there's no normal for price. I guess price could just push up 1,000 pips if it wanted to, but generally we're going to see some sort of ranging and pullbacks after such a heavy push. So, right now, like I say, that 4 hour candle closing bullish is going to be enough of a confirmation for us to continue to look for those buys. But you don't want to rush it. Right now we're sort of in the middle of this range. We could easily wait, let me draw this out a bit better. We're basically in the middle of a range here, so you do want to just be careful. If let's just say this is our sort of range here, we are literally in the middle of this range. So waiting for us to pull back to, this zone, or breaking out of this zone, is going to give you your cleanest setups. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't really look too deeply into the 5 minute there, because this thing is pulling back a little bit deeper here. Hashtag fake hot. Yep. Yeah, at this rate, waiting for the 4 hours, definitely the safest shout for me. I'm gonna go get some water quickly, chat. 15 closed quite strong, bearish there. Yeah, definitely nothing much to do here right now. It's a hell of an hourly candle. I mean, you pushed up 100 pips and you retraced 70 pips. Crazy. I mean, this news is not like great numbers. It's between the forecast and the previous. But maybe it is just helping us to grab some more liquidity here. Come back down into 1915. Maybe we even come all the way back into 1910. All I know is I'm not taking sells. I can't take sells with this current situation on gold. Friday I slipped 4,000 rand on my account due to discipline. Yep, that's the lesson. You know, you're human, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to break your rules from time to time, but you need to stop. I don't know how else to put it. I think within your plan, you need to set parameters that that make sense with your psychology. You know, one of the things that I've even looked at for myself is maybe not trading Fridays. Because I'll have a good week, and it's not that I go throw it away on a Friday, but you know, I like to be in and out of trades quick. I don't like to sit in the market for too long. So the less time I'm on the chart in the week, the better. And if I've had a good week, I don't need to sit there on a Friday. Check NASDAQ. Send a chart to the Discord. Oh, that idea wasn't too bad. AK Hectorino, what's up? Let's see. I think with stocks, what's going to still be holding more weight is that inflation report from last week with the CPI being up. But it looks like you may get some pullbacks here. Maybe waiting for this 4-hour candle to close, waiting for NYC here on NAS. You know, this is obviously quite a nice zone right here. You could reject, continue to move bearish. I feel so weird analyzing another pair. I really do. Ned, what's your analysis there at with Nas? You buy or sell at 330, bro? No, neither. Neither. That's a shocking way to go about it. Don't do that. I don't know what's with South African trading gurus and just like buying and selling at 330. Just feels like gambling to me. But just because you see someone else do it doesn't mean you should also do it. The fact that you're asking shows that you maybe don't have a plan. So that's something you can look into for today. Get off the charts and go make yourself a trading plan. That's what you can do at 330. Nasdaq bearish, so we'll be waiting for the dust to settle after NYC for confirmations for sells. If it doesn't present, don't execute 100%. I could even just see fake outs of this zone here at NYC. You know, maybe this is a scenario you see at NYC and then continuation bearish. US30 looks more bullish than anything. But you're coming up into this zone here where, you know, you could just be coming into this area to start out the week, grab some more orders and continue bearish. Yeah. Indices, nah, I don't even want to look at them. Yeah, it is in a bit of a tricky spot. Your 4-hour candle here is about to close. 5 minutes forming a bit of a support here at around 1918. You know, you had a retest of this structure. But yeah, let's see how the 4-hour opens up. So you got 2 minutes, but this hourly candle looks like it will close bullish with a hell of a wick to the upside. Um, 30-minute looks pretty ugly. But this could definitely be a wick for target for the session here. If your new 4-hour wicks down into 1915 respects this zone, you could be looking for entries there. Just wait to see how price sets up. Indices whip you out hard if you hit it on time frame. Yeah, indices are tricky, especially now with NYSE open. I never got the hype around trading NYSE on indices. It's quite tricky. Waiting for the dust to settle, like Ned said, is for me the best approach with trading indices. The only time I really traded indices, and I actually did trade NAS a lot, I would trade it in the evening, so about an hour and a half after NYSE open, moving more into like market close, after London close. You can get some nice clean moves in that time, but around NYSE it's really volatile. A 15-minute close bullish here on the structure. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to be waiting here. There's no sells, nothing. I don't think I could bring myself to sell gold at this point in time. And obviously with the 4-hour closing bullish, that's our confirmation there that we may need to see this continuation. We've had a nice pullback through the day so far. It would make sense here for this 4-hour to move on back up to these highs. But we'll see how the lower time frame is setting up. There is pretty decent volume in the session. What does everybody in the chat trade? Do you guys, who trades gold? I'm assuming quite a few people here trade gold. But let me know there in the chat. What's your favorite pair? Ned, I know you, Chi-U. Chi-U and Dax. Dax is German dirty, right? You're respecting the previous 15-minute low. But it's too early into the 4 hour. I would love to see a steeper bottom wick here. I don't know, if these bars don't set up, it's going to be a tricky session because I can't bring myself to take any sells on gold. I don't really see any sells. Sorry. Yeah, not that I really see sells, but I'm just saying if the bars don't set up, then I don't see anything happening here. Let's see how this 5-minute closes. So our previous 15-minute close bullish there, and we are respecting the lows of that 15-minute candle. We saw before the news there's there's a lot of volume to the upside here. So news just gave you a pullback, left you with this wick to fill on the hour. Let me remove this. And since we had that pullback before the new 4-hour opened, you don't always need a deep pullback on the new 4-hour. I would still love to see us come into at least 1915. Yeah, looks a bit funky right now. But if we are respecting this 1918, you get like an engulfing 5-minute candle here. Like this. Would be even better if we got one closing above 1920. But then we can start to see price pushing back up to these highs that were created from COMEX. Just based off of structure, that does make a lot of sense. But I want to be cautious, obviously, with the new 4-hour open. 20 minutes until NYC. Could always just wait for NYC open. Might just have to wait for NYC. Maybe we'll go test the high again. Yeah, I would like to see that. I don't think it was looking too bad, but if this 15 closes the way it is right now, I don't know. I would still pay more attention to the 5 minutes, you know, if the 15 closed, no, I would just wait for NYC. But if this 15 closes like this, then the bars are no right now. If this 15 can close bullish, even with a very weak body, we've already established support here. So closing bullish is just giving us a confirmation that this is support formed. We've respected the previous 15 low. You know, next 15 then would make sense to continue up before NYC. But closing bearish, I think that's just telling you to wait for NYC though. Even closing like this on the 15 with a very weak body, but a nice wick to the downside. We've got two bullish 15-minute, two bullish 5-minute candles. You know, makes a little bit more sense with that price action. Not closing below 1918 that we could start to push up to revisit these highs. I like this setup on the 15. It's kind of like a biltong there. Yeah. So I want to see if we break that previous bullish 15-minute high at 19.25, or if we could even get a bullish candle closing on the 5-minute just above this little zone here. If we can close bullish above there, so something like this, then we can look for that continuation back up to these highs. Yeah, if we break the previous 15-minute lows, then it's going to be best to just wait here for NYC. Because then it looks like we're coming down into 1915. We'll see what price does in this zone. Yeah, it's tricky right now. What? Jeepers, did you guys watch the Rugby World Cup yesterday? South Africa versus France. What a game. Look at this. So we've come down into these lows. We are respecting the lows. So we never broke the previous 15-minute lows. Let's wait to see this 5-minute close. If it can flip bullish, which no, it won't. But it makes sense that if you are respecting those lows and we do break above the highs here, that you could start to move up. But there's 10 minutes until NYC. I think I'm going to wait here. I think I will wait. Jeez, corpse, it was a game. It was so tight. 302 watching. Ned, I don't know what's cutting with your YouTube. I think there's only like 40 people watching. But I see that picture you sent me, it had a different title as well. Maybe your YouTube is bugging. Relaxing music radio. What? Man's a DJ now. Yeah, so if NYC doesn't give us deeper pullbacks, and let's say that volume comes in at NYC, what I would love to see here is a bullish 5-minute closing back above 1920. So the first 5 minutes of NYC, if you can close like that, next 5, you're just waiting for a little bit of a bottom wick, and then you take the break of the highs there. And then anytime you're taking bars right now, you could probably leave runners. In this situation, runners up to 1930 at least. But yeah, after that, a little bit of volatility, you know, we just sitting here pre-NYC with about 6-7 minutes to go. So I think the best bet here for me is to wait for NYC. On the 15-minute, arguably, nah, you know what, it's not that clean. I'd rather wait here. You know, I can feel a sense that I just want to get into these bars, because I mean, look at Friday, you know. You don't want to miss anything. But I'm aware of that. So I'm rather going to be patient and wait, like I say, for NYC. I don't want to force something that's not there. To be honest, I don't think it's that clean right now. I like the 4-hour confirmation, but I would love to see a steeper bottom wick on this 4-hour, at least into 1915. Not that we need that bottom wick. Like I say, if we get breaks above 1920, we can easily look to play this wick fill here up to 1925, runners up to 1930. But it's going to be a lot better if we could get those pullbacks to better price levels. Yeah, here it comes. If things are not heating up at NYC, then you may have to wait for this Fed speaker at 4:30 in an hour's time, which I don't think that I'm gonna wait for him or her. So if NYC is not really giving me what I want to see, I'm gonna call it a day. So let's give it, obviously NYC is in 3 minutes, and then see what sets up in the next 30 minutes or so. I don't know, these 30-minute candles do not look lovely. They really don't look great. Could even see us coming down into 1910. And, you know, on any given day, I would maybe even look for, you know, some sort of sell like this. If there's a setup at NYC that makes sense. But like I say, I just can't bring myself to take sells today. There's no way. But these are lows for the session so far. Yeah, at 1915. So if we're breaking 1915, coming down into this London support at 1910 makes a lot of sense. But in this situation, I'd rather wait for us to come down into 1910 and see if we can get the bars here of 1910. So here's NYC, you've closed bearish on the 30 minutes. 2 30 minutes closing bearish, you know, not really beautiful for the bars. Don't want to rush and force anything. You know, I'm only really interested in the bars just because of what's going on right now. And I mean, we saw this volume at the beginning of the session to the upside. So arguably that demand is still there. I don't want to be trying to counter trend this bullish momentum. But if the bars don't set up, then obviously there's nothing here for me. It's a middle finger pattern? Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it. No, I don't think it looks right if I try to draw that out. It looks like something else. So I think for NYC, this little area we're in right now is a little bit tricky. So I would like to see us, like I say, come down into 1915. At least 1915. Or if we get breaks above 1920, could then start to look for some sort of entry there. If we break below 1915, expect some deeper pullbacks, but I'm not really interested in sells. In fact, I would set alerts here at 1910 and 1905, which I would do right now for myself. If we come into these levels later on today and see nice reactions, I'd be interested in those zones for buys. More specifically 1905. I think that's a really nice zone for us to come down into. If you just go to the 4 hour, you know, look to the left. When we were trading in this price range before, you know, we were ranging between 1930 and 1905. Not once, but twice. Right here as well. And then here again. So if we can come down into this zone, get nice rejections, you know that you're in for some nice buying opportunities. Okay, 1915, let's see how we react. first 5 of NYC Open as well. Just looking at that hourly time frame again. Previous hour closed nice and bullish with a, it was actually quite a weak body there. It's quite a weak body, so this could even be a rejection candle. But I like that we closed bullish above this resistance at 1918, and you've got a wick to fill. But since this is the beginning of a new 4 hour, we've pulled back down a little bit deeper, creating a steeper bottom wick, coming back down into this 1915. This could be a nice bottom wick. If this hourly candle flips bullish, then you can easily start to see that wick fill with this volume from NYC. So that's sort of the idea there, but we need to see how price reacts here at 1915. Digging a little bit deeper into 1915, you want to wait for candles to close. You can easily break these lows and then come back up, still close above 1915 or even close bullish on this 5. But yeah, we'll see. FVG. I don't even know what that is, Ned. I know FEG is a fair value gap, but I don't know. I actually couldn't identify it. Order block is gonna be this one right here. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just some sort of structure on a different time frame. You can see that order block on a 5 minute is just a range on the 1 minute. It's support and resistance, exactly. Could even come into this structure here. We do seem to be holding that 1915 level, but I need to obviously wait for confirmation candles. So this candle right now, it's got a nice bottom wick, looks like a bit of a rejection candle, but I would need to see a 5 minute closing bullish engulfing. Something like this. So you closed respecting 1915. Might get aggressive moves off of here, but I would love to wait for 5 minutes closing engulfing. Like I say, if I don't get entries off 1915, there's always more opportunities above 1920. That 5 could stay right there. I just don't want my stop loss to get too big. Stay right there, buddy. $15-minute candles flipping bullish. Okay, so we've got a minute left for this 5 minute to close. Stops here right now would be about 35 pips. you've got about 60, 65 pips back up to these highs. So once this 5-minute closes, when the next 5-minute breaks that high, that's where I'm going to execute these buys. So if this 5 closes like this, as soon as we break that high, I'm going to be in there. Let's see, I don't want the stop to get too big. But the 15 is also looking really nice. Grabbed a lot of liquidity here from the lows. Came back down into the lows from NY Open. So those are probably the lows for the session, yeah. Okay, chat, I'm in here. Stops are a little bit bigger than I would like. So just lower your risk. Stops are going to be at 1914.3.2. Looking for runners into 1930. Look, if we break above 1930 with what's been going on, you can easily have runners here. So I would just personally look to have a very small position to hold to, let's say 1945, 1950. So your hourly candle looks beautiful there. You've grabbed nice liquidity, flipped back bullish. You've got this 1920 level right here. I would love to see us just blast through there. SEC just approved Bitcoin ETF. So what do you say? We must buy Bitcoin now. Bitcoin to the moon, baby. So at 19, yeah, as we come up into these highs, I will look to secure partials and move stops to break even. Just careful of 1922.5. And as long as this 5-minute closes above 1920, we should be good here. Currently up about 20 pips. At 5 minutes of beauty, we close above 1920. I know that we have no bottom wick on the 15, but yeah, with volume like this and having already grabbed nice liquidity there, I'm not too stressed about that. Makes sense for the first minute of the 5 to give a little bit of a pullback. I just don't want to see any 5 minutes closing below 1920. Could even just come get a bottom wick for the 15 there. Sometimes what I do, once a trade runs into profit and comes back to entries, I'll close out half to manage my risk. But since I've lowered risk already, I'm not going to do that here today. But just an idea, if you are concerned about us pushing into profit and coming back, close some out here as you're sitting around your entries. Just in case this does go against you, to keep the loss small. Because you've already pushed into profit, you don't want to then go take a full stop loss. One more minute left of this 5. I don't really love the way this 5 minute is looking. What? Chat. Okay. Last 5 minutes here of the hourly candle. We've closed bearish. Quite ugly. We've closed below 1920. I don't really like the look of that. So if we break the previous 5 minute low, I'm actually going to get out of this. Still respecting. Yeah, watch out. I'm gonna close full here. I'm gonna close full. It's the last couple minutes of the hour, so -7 pips. You know, we push into a bit of profit there. There was a bit of funky price action with the previous 15 having no top wick. This 15 opening up with no bottom wick. You know, with this sort of volume, you know, I'm still okay to pull the trigger, and you can see that it was worth it. We pushed in to some profit there. Didn't really get to those areas where I was looking to manage. But yeah, that 5 is freaking me out because my stop is, you know, like I say, if you've lowered your risk, it's not an issue, but I don't like this big stop. I don't like that 5 minute at all. You know, if we had this momentum, we should have been filling this. We should have been on our way to fill that previous hourly wick by now. So yeah, I'm out there. Rather just keep the L small, like I say. It is pretty volatile here. You can see these last 2 bullish 5 minutes, we pushed about 60 pips. You know, lots of volume, lots of volatility. The new hour candle could easily give you a 50 pip bottom wick back into 1915, even coming a little bit lower before you see those moves up. Or maybe we don't even get the move up this session. You know, maybe we get some deeper pullbacks here into 1905. $15-minute candles are really ugly. This candle's about to close in 15 seconds. 30 minutes, not great. Hourly, really not great. Yeah, I'm not in love here. The 30 minutes still closed bullish with rejections here of 1915. No. Look at these candles. Rejections from the downside, from the upside. Yeah, trading between 1920 and 1915 is just very tricky. Very tricky. So this range, I would just avoid. You've got a speaker in 30 minutes there, FOMC speaker. So chat, I think I'm going to call it a day here. I don't want to sit here too late. With that speaker coming up, you know, we may just range here until he speaks. And yeah, we'll see. I think that's going to be me for the day. Gave these bars a shot. Volume was going crazy before the session there with that hourly candle. You know, I guess I was just hoping for those same continuations as Friday. Well, not the same. I don't think we would have had the same sort of volume. But yeah, we got a little teaser there at the beginning of the session. Would have been lovely if we could have seen those continuations and maybe they happen. But you don't want to force it. You don't want to chase it. So take it easy, chat. Like I say, maybe if this 15 closes above 1920, I'd give it a shot. Nah, it's ugly. Cool, I'll see you guys tomorrow.